Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sam or Xjaws, and today I'm bringing you guys a Ground War Team Deathmatch game on the map Berlin Wall. And today, as the title of this video says, I'm going to be using the Golden RPK light machine gun. So, this light machine gun right here is, what a lot of people thought might be very similar to the RPD. And while I do see the similarity, it's not that much. It's not very similar. As with a lot of the light machine guns in Call of Duty Black Ops, it doesn't have a massive clip. It only has a 40 round clip, so it's not that great. But today we kind of wanted to talk to, not talk to, I want to talk to you guys, obviously, and I want to talk sort of about the light machine guns in general, because I think I've only posted like 3 or 4 videos with light machine guns out of like 300 that I've done on Black Ops, so I haven't really gotten the chance to talk too much about them. So first things first is I like to talk in sort of general terms a lot of the time. I like to say, oh, assault rifles are used for this, light machine guns this, but with Black Ops there's only 4 light machine guns, and one of them is very different from the others. Actually, they're all pretty different from each other, but one very significantly, that being the Stoner. So I'm going to sort of talk in general terms, but please note that the Stoner sometimes can be an exception. So the light machine guns aren't, and this includes the Stoner, aren't very maneuverable. It is kind of difficult to move around. I think you have 87.5% of the run speed that you would have, and sort of how, I don't know how to say it, limber you are, that you would have if you were using a submachine gun or a pistol or something like that. To give you guys a point of reference, it's like 95% with an assault rifle, but then once you get down to like the light machine gun, obviously it definitely is detrimental to your gameplay. And what this means is that you have to play a much slower pace. You have to play at a much slower pace, and that again can make things a little bit difficult unless you know how to handle the weapon. And when I say I say you know how to handle the weapon, really what I mean is you know how to maneuver around the map with a given weapon. And a lot of people are, I'm sure, going to tell me that they are awesome at this game and that they can rush around with a light machine gun, but you really want to play defensively with this thing, and you don't want to be the aggressor in most situations. What you want to do is be the guy who has the scope up before the guy turns the corner, so that you can have the jump on that guy, or else really there's not much point to the light machine gun. You won't have the advantage if you're rushing with this thing. So with that in mind, this weapon has a lot of flaws with it, and I think Wings of Redemption said it best a while ago in Modern Warfare 2, is that, and when I say this weapon, I meant to say this weapon class, more or less. I think Wings of Redemption said it best, and he said way back in Modern Warfare 2 days, that if you're using a light machine gun for any other game mode than Ground War, you're just doing it for, there's no reason for it. Really, it doesn't have any positives that an assault rifle doesn't have. And I kind of used to disagree with that, because I really like to use the RPD all the time. That was a very good weapon in Black Ops, being that it was a 2-hit kill with stopping power at any range, anywhere on the person's body. But in Black Ops, it's not the same. The light machine guns aren't all the same damage when over range, which was one of the huge positives with light machine guns in previous games, is that if you're shooting somebody point blank or from a mile away, it's not going to matter. It's going to do the same damage, and not all light machine guns are like that in this game, and hence they're pretty difficult to use, and they don't have nearly as many positives as they've had in the past, and I wouldn't recommend them as much. So with that said, let me talk about how I would recommend using them if you like them, if you have to use them, because to each his own. If you really enjoy using the light machine guns, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can't use them. I'll at least try and give you guys some tips for using them. My first piece of advice pertains to perk selection. So if you're planning on playing a map with a lot of long lines of sight, where you think the majority of your encounters will take place over, again, really long lines of sight, I would recommend sleight of hand. All the light machine guns in general have a much slower aim down sight time, and sleight of hand pro comes in handy a lot for maps like that. If you're going to be playing a map that doesn't have a lot of lines of sight like that, and maybe there's going to be a lot of corners for you to turn around and more close quarters engagements in general, I would recommend steady aim. It might not sound like it's a good choice for a weapon like a light machine gun, but up close you're going to need all the help you can get with your hip fire, so definitely to make you stand a much better chance at winning those close range encounters, I would go with steady aim. The next piece of advice I would give you guys pertains to what attachment to use, and that sort of plays into what perk you're going to use. With most of the light machine guns in this game, you don't have the option to have a grip, which is really unfortunate, because that was one of the main upsides, in my opinion, to like the M60 and the RPD in previous games, which gave you a much more accurate shot on your light machine guns. But because you don't have that in this game, extra ammo is definitely something that a lot of people are looking for. So what I decided to do is, instead of going with scavenger, because I like to use use lightweight so that I gain back some of my, maneuverability. What I like to do is use dual mags because it's a pretty simple attachment, and there aren't many things with this that I really like. I'm certainly not going to go with the red dot sight on the RPK or any of the light machine guns, just because it's a bit awkward on it in my opinion, and I think the iron sights are just fine. So yeah, that would definitely be what I would recommend. Anyway guys, this video is coming to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a pretty good game with the gold RPK. That's pretty much it. I will see you later. Bye.